in the South Central region. We were founded in 1999. Our mission is to enable all young people, especially those that need us most, to reach their full potential as productive, caring, and responsible citizens. And then we've got a vision statement too, and that's we strive to positively impact youth, strengthen families, and enrich Murray County one child at a time. However, I'm sure that that's going to shift as we so the South Central Tennessee region. We serve about 1,200 youth per year. This year has looked a little bit different. I don't know our numbers for this year, but COVID has really impacted us due to limited space, and we had a 1-to-20 ratio previously. One staff member to 20 kids was our max that we would have, and now I think we're down to either 1-to-12 or 1-to-15. And that's depending on the space allocation as well, because we try and we have actually stricter COVID restrictions than Murray County Public School System. So we do face masks are required for our students, and we do social distancing 6 feet apart. So we have a lot more restrictions on space. So I know we're serving less kids, but we're serving them in a really awesome way as well, because parents are
I know, desperate. I read a little bit about it, and I was like, this is really cool. And then I was emailing you, and I was like, well, she didn't think I need a job, which I was like, no, I just need an interview. That's it. It's just to do this for a class project. But yeah, and I was like, well, we all decided on the Boys and Girls Club, and they're like, well, just search one up. And I was like, well, there's so many.
Yeah, there is. Well, we're like all kind of little umbrella clubs under Boys and Girls Clubs of America. So we all are our own entity, but there's a lot of us. So we do before and after school care. Before care is only at certain locations where there's a great need for it. So that is 6 to 7:30 in the mornings. And then we do after school until 6 p.m. With COVID, we also ran an essential workers site. So we had one of our school sites was actually open when everybody was shut down. And we did that for Murray County Regional Hospital and some of the other essential workers that needed childcare as well. And then we also did virtual programming. So we did a ton of programming online for kids that were stuck at home. And we also have a remote program. We had one in Pulaski, which they just went back to full in-person, so we're not doing it in Pulaski anymore. But we're still doing it at our Wayne Street location where it's remote learning. So if parents have chosen to keep their kids out of school and they're doing the packets or they're doing, like having to log in each day to their classes, they go to our Wayne Street location, and at that point they have help. So parents can still go to work. But like I said, our restrictions are a lot more strict than the school district. Yeah. So parents feel a little more safe.
That's good.
When that's an option.
That's good. What would you like more people to know about your organization?
I think that sometimes there's a misconception that like Boys and Girls Clubs are for low income kids, and we're not. We serve this community is probably the coolest I've ever seen. I'm from Philadelphia personally. So we moved here 5 years ago. And this community, I live in Hampshire, which is like a little dot between Columbia and Hohenwald. And it's extremely rural. So our school, like 70-80% of our school doesn't have access when they go home to any internet. Their cell phones don't work, like where they live. It's like a totally different world, but you move into Columbia and Spring Hill. You've got, you do have your low-income families in Columbia, but then you've got Spring Hill, which is the total opposite.
Yeah.
So it's just so diverse all over the place. We've got Santa Fe and Mount Pleasant and all of that. So, and now we've added, like I said, we have Giles County, Pulaski as well. So it's just a very diverse organization. We serve a whole lot of kids from a whole lot of backgrounds. It's not just for families of low-income kids.
Other than just to help the low-income and the high-income, just the kids in need in general, is there any other issues?
COVID's like a huge issue across the world.
Yeah.
We're constantly adapting. We're constantly trying to look for the best solutions to serve the community and the kids and the families. Cause we also offer, like, we try and connect with the community and offer meals. Like, I know we're doing a meal, Puckett's has partnered with us so that we can try and help those who might not have a Christmas meal.
Mm-hmm.
We've done Thanksgiving meals for our kids. We provide, canned food drives, all sorts of different resources throughout the year. So really the only issue is COVID and trying to navigate what that looks like,
Mm-hmm.
because every day is different.
Yeah.
You don't know what the numbers are going to look like. You don't know if the schools are suddenly going to go remote, and you're going to need to provide care for tons of kids as opposed to just before and after. How are you going to staff that kind of thing?
Yeah,
So,
I think that's an issue across the state. It's just, no one knows when COVID's going to increase and send the kids virtual. Lord help me, because I have two brothers in middle school or high school now. So it's vaguely like they have virtual days, and it's like they don't do anything. And I'm like, well, aren't you supposed to be doing schoolwork? And then with me being in college, we don't have anything on campus. It's all virtual, which kind of, in my opinion, is not the best. But with Williamson County and Murray County's numbers are up, they don't want to risk us being in school, and it's just chaos. So,
I mean, I have two little girls. I have a first and a second grader, and I know Murray County Public Schools is struggling to navigate as well. But I know that, like, every school and every class within that school, every teacher gets to choose their own. So when we went full remote in November, I was home with my two girls, and they can't read. Like, they can't navigate packets on their own. And for elementary students, Murray County has chosen to do packets. So I had to navigate working packets with each of them on and off because they couldn't do any of it by themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to, like, go one kid for an hour, the next kid for an hour, one kid for an hour, the next kid. So it's just very intensive. There's no unity across the board. So even our remote learning program struggles because they might have 10 first graders from all different schools, which means they have completely different packets.
Right? Okay. That's what it would be like, each kid having something different, so you have to, like, yeah, that's tricky.
Yeah.